Shabbat shalom, brothers and
Shalom.
sisters. Yeah, back at it again. Oh my gosh, the language of creation.
Chapter 6.
Yeah.
The universe as a language. In the beginning, Elohim created the heaven, spiritual reality, and the earth, corporal reality. From a material perspective, the universe resembles a gigantic machine composed of meaningless matter and mindless energy. This worldview has little to do with the spiritual perspective, which likens the universe to a written language. Divine breath becomes word and light. Genesis 1:2. The earth was confused and meaningless. Darkness was on the face of the deep, and the breath of Elohim hovered over the face of the waters. Elohim said, "Let there be light," and there was light. From the spiritual perspective, creation is viewed as a manifestation of divine language. Therefore, to understand the book of Genesis and its ancient cosmology, we must posit a universe founded on meaning and language instead of mindless mechanical causality. Thankfully, there is an easy way to emulate this perspective using an analogy with our written language. To fully appreciate this analogy, it is important to realize that written words are the union of physical marks, shown at the bottom of the following image, and abstract meaning. Because of this union, the marks of the written word support the breadth of the spoken word. These linguistic components perfectly represent the corporeal and spiritual interactions discussed in the previous chapter. And we have an image of heaven, meaning coming down to creation, and earth matter rising up to creation to come into unification. We see the earth matter is just different lines. Well, guess what? These random lines are put together because of the meaning to spell out the word creation.
Wow.
Nick?
As illustrated below, it takes levels upon levels of organization to form a meaningful sentence from a jumble of marks. The result is a physical construction, the written word, capable of encoding the events of our world within the confines of this page. Miraculously, by ordering these marks with the technical laws of our language, in parentheses we have alphabet, vocabulary, and grammar, they point to a relatively higher reality. Thus, a real but invisible connection is established between those physical marks and a universe that reaches far beyond the limits of this page. And so here is the illustration. There was light.
Show 'em,
Grammar.
Bernie.
Was there light? Vocabulary. AEEGHHILRSTTW. I don't know.
It's all mixed up.
So first,
I see,
first we
I
have
see.
random lines. They start forming actual letters, but they're not in the right order.
And then that's the lines of the letters.
And then you have the actual words, and then you have the right grammar.
Very cool.
Incredible.
And so it's this top-down view or this bottom-up view. These two things are happening in the world:
Yes.
a top-down and a bottom-up, and they meet to be at the right place.
Right.
And what we can get from this is, look, it says on the side, I love it, says 36 marks, whereas we only had one sentence. So you can almost get more. And you have all these lines, you have all these different interactions
Oh yeah.
of these different lines, and you can compare the length of that line to the length of that line and all these different things. So you can kind of, it's like getting to the root of things. Like you look at atoms, and like a lot of those atoms put together make something. But when you go down to the original atoms, they can mix and do so many other things with different elements. Is what I'm saying.
And that's why
what I mean?
in Hebrew, we're reading a book, right? And it's the altars, the 7 altars of creation. Yeah. So in Hebrew, when he says Bereshit bara,
Elohim.
Etz.
Elohim. All right.
Yeah, Bereshit bara Elohim.
Bereshit bara
Right?
Elohim hashamayim
Etz.
haaretz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom. We got a winner. I was seeing it in you. And well, in there, like there's the Hebrew letters, but you could change those letters and make so many other.
Wait, what do you mean change those letters?
Well, at the order, right? Within the word, there's more words.
Right.
Right. So like right here, boom. Within these letters, I mean, you could rearrange them and have other sentences, right?
So that's going like in a different type of.
Okay.
To
That's for
what-
next time.
To what this is trying to express.
Right. This is trying to express that there's these markings, and then the letters, and then you put them in order,
Exactly.
and you make 3 words and one
Yeah,
sentence.
think of it as a periodic table, if you will. And you have something, and it goes down all the way down into the elements and the atoms.
Yes.
And but
Okay.
and so even with us, so we have cells, right? We are components of multiple things. We are viewed as a one person, right? You're an individual,
Right.
but you are we
I
are
got
the
2.
we are the sum of our parts, right? But our parts don't have its own consciousness. Like they have something going on. Like our cells are moving and doing things that we're not aware of.
Yeah.
But they're not the ones that control us.
But it is expressed. We can express our members through our spirit and our consciousness, and that's where I think the body is important. Like we talked about earlier, kind of going against the Gnostics, where the body is important because it reflects the spirit. My spirit and all what isn't in reality goes into the movement of my hand right now.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, isn't that the neshama, the way we act and show ourselves?
Nefesh.
The
And we
soul.
must, and we
That's
must
the-
have a
the soul,
body to do
nefesh.
that.
Nefesh is
Yeah.
the actions of
Yeah.
being able to move. Then neshama is what
Brings back
brings,
to
So-
the power from Yah.
pulls you towards.
And so it's like
Oh,
it's like
okay.
the same idea as like with death there is life, and so dying to yourself in the baptism you create life.
Ooh,
And so
yeah.
then you
Preach it!
Then you have your flesh. Yeah, I lost my thought.
Boom. You know?
camera to the face.
Well, I mean, I'm just trying to, keep it interesting, guys.
Yeah, I love
That's
it.
good.
No, it does.
All right, keep going. You're
All right,
almost
here we
done.
go, here we go.
Yeah, we're almost
In
done. here.
biblical cosmology, the entire universe operates according to this paradigm,
Wow.
except at a higher level. In that case, instead of ordering marks on a page to encode a fact, a divine language organizes facts and events in the world to embody metaphysical truth. Thus, concrete reality is arranged by the cosmic laws of that language and then infused with spiritual meaning. Of course, in order to accept the possibility of such cosmic language, we must forego the materialistic assumption that facts are completely devoid of spiritual meaning. Otherwise, the words on this page can be nothing more than ink marks, and reality itself can be nothing more than insignificant atoms and molecules. We're on the same page here.
Yeah.
The gap that separates ancient cosmology and materialistic science is enormous. On one hand, we may interpret reality exclusively with mechanical causality, where everything is devoid of meaning and higher purpose. On the other hand, we may interpret reality exclusively through a cosmic language, where facts and events are the hosts of spiritual meaning. Neither of these worldviews is complete without the other. Yeah.
Right.
So it's like okay, I'll just keep going.
Wait, no.
I remembered my thought. I forgot. A purely material perspective knows how the universe works, but perceives no higher reason for its existence.
Right.
While a purely spiritual perspective knows the meaning of the universe without understanding how it technically works. Ideally, we should be able to adopt both perspectives without having to sacrifice one or the other.
Exactly.
Whoa.
Beautiful. That's why it's ridiculous when people of today's world say that we don't believe in science. It's Yah's word that makes science concrete, because Yah establishes the world to have order, which means we could do experiments that are repetitive and won't change because Yah doesn't change, right? And that's the reason we could learn about science.
Incredible. Incredible. Brothers and sisters.
Now we just and then we get the meaning.
Here we go.